The NFL is a massive franchise, and for every loved player,
come back! Jameer, come back!
There's one that's hated. First up is George Kittle. I don't know how you can't put him on this list. He was drafted in the 5th round by the San Francisco 49ers, and he was never expected to be a game changer. But by 2018, he was smashing expectations, breaking the NFL single-season record for receiving yards by a tight end with 1,377 yards. Since then, Kittle has been essential to the 49ers' game plan, combining his athleticism with his love for the game. Fans love Kittle not only because of his performances, but for his off-field behavior. He's a massive WWE fan. I mean, he's at every single WrestleMania. And really, every time a camera is pointed at him, he's smiling. That always brings good vibes. In a league filled with divas or just stones, Kittle's genuine enjoyment for every aspect of football is amazing. He's also dedicated to his team, pushing through injuries, and giving it all in both games and practices. For many, Kittle represents the heart and passion of the sport, and that's why he's as loved as he is respected. Next up is Jason Kelce. Everyone knows who Jason Kelce is, but what you might not know is that he was a 6th round pick in 2011, and he worked his way up to being the Super Bowl champion and one of the most dominant centers in NFL history. Kelce's commitment to football is legendary, and he was the cornerstone of the Eagles' offensive line. His leadership and skill set have made him a Pro Bowler and All-Pro many times. And it's not just his skills that make him loved. It's his loyalty to his team and his hard working style that makes him everybody's fan favorite. Perhaps Kelce's most defining moment came in 2018 during the Eagles Super Bowl parade. Kelce delivered a memorable, heartfelt speech that celebrated Philadelphia's hard-working culture and why they won the Super Bowl. That speech connected him to Philly fans in a way few players ever achieve. And Kelce's recent podcast and commercials with his brother Travis has only amplified his popularity, just showing fans a glimpse into his life and his thoughts about the game. Now, even though he is retired, he's still a Philadelphia icon, and one of the NFL's most loved figures. Third on the list is Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's journey is just amazing. Coming from a walk-on at Texas Tech to transferring to Oklahoma, winning the Heisman Trophy, Baker has never taken the easy path. When he was drafted 1st overall by the Cleveland Browns in 2018, everyone saw him as the savior to revive that franchise. And though Mayfield's career had a roller coaster, with him going from Browns to Panthers to Rams, and now with the Buccaneers, everyone now respects him because of how cool he is. Baker Mayfield has never backed down, and his passion for the game is always on full display. Even when his play hasn't been perfect, or whenever all his teammates are injured, he still shows that he never quits, and that's a quality that fans love. In Tampa Bay, he's found a new chapter, proving to everyone that he's still a good quarterback. At least for me, Baker Mayfield is my favorite underdog. Next up on this list is a little weird, but I'm choosing Derrick Henry. Or should I call him King Henry? Because I don't know more of a monster running back. I mean, the dude's size, speed, and athleticism is scary. After him dominating Alabama, winning a Heisman Trophy as a running back, he was drafted by the Tennessee Titans in 2016. By 2019, he was the most feared running back in the NFL. And I know a lot of Titans fans love him. And really, I haven't seen anything bad about him. I mean, other than him injuring every single player that tries to tackle him, he's a pretty cool guy. But personally, what I love about Henry is his humility and hard work. Off the field, he's a quiet, humble guy who stays out of the spotlight, letting his game do the talking. He doesn't really get caught up in drama or controversy. He's simply dedicated to his team and the game. And now he's with the Baltimore Ravens, and he's doing his best season ever. And he's earned it, making him one of the most universally admired players in the league, aside from the opponents who's facing him. Last most loved player, and that goes to CJ Stroud. Now, I know CJ Stroud might be new to the NFL. Drafted by the Houston Texans with the 2nd overall pick, Stroud came in with high expectations, and so far he's delivered. He plays with a calm presence in the pocket, and his accuracy and his leadership qualities are just great. Now, Stroud has Texans fans feeling hopeful for the first time in a while. I mean, he's already won them a playoff game in his first season. And really what I just like is that he's humble. Outside of the game, Stroud just seems very compassionate about other players, and he just loves the game of football. If you watch his podcasts, you'll see a lot of great moments from him. And sure, he hasn't played that well this season. The whole Texans team hasn't really done that good. But aside from that, I still see him as the NFL's most loved rising star. I mean, he's leagues above fucking Caleb Williams. Here's a little bonus for you guys. Now here's somebody that's both loved and hated. That player is Patrick Mahomes. He's undoubtedly one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL ever. Drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs in 2017, Mahomes quickly established himself as a star. With his great arm strength, off-balance throws, and the refs' help, he's won 2 Super Bowls, multiple MVPs, and has broken plenty of stats. He's reshaped what's possible for a quarterback, and that's what's made him incredibly popular around the NFL. Both Chiefs fans and young NFL fans love to see him as the face of the league. However, for every Mahomes fan, there's a hater. Some resent his success, or just believe that he's only good with his surrounded talent, and others just don't like him off the field. I mean, let's be honest, he has a controversial family and teammates. They all attract negative headlines, and let's be honest, everybody knows that Mahomes is getting preferential treatment from both the refs and the NFL, and that leads to a lot of jealousy and resentment. So while Mahomes is loved by many, his success and the people around him have led to a lot of haters, making him both one of the most loved and most hated players in the NFL. Speaking of most hated players, number 1 on the list is Tyreek Hill. Even though I love Tyreek Hill, not a lot of people share that same enthusiasm with me. Hill is one of the most fastest, most dynamic players on the football field. First with the Chiefs and now with the Dolphins. But Tyreek Hill does have some off-field controversies, even though he's put up big numbers and helped both the teams reach new heights. Some fans just can't get past his off-field history, and that's understandable, even for those who admire his talent, and that's why he's one of the most hated NFL players in the league. Player number 2 is probably the most notorious figure in recent NFL history, Antonio Brown, a once elite receiver with the Steelers. Brown's career looked to be Hall of Fame bound. However, as his career advanced, so did his off-field antics, from public conflicts with coaches to stomping out other players, and just his weird behavior on social media. He was released by a lot of teams. Brown's fall from grace has been well documented, and he's been a prime symbol of the Madden curse, or CTE, whichever one you guys want to say. Many fans who once respected his talent now see him as a bum. And really what did it for me is that whole Tyreek Hill controversy, where, he went gremlin mode, but that's why he's one of the most universally disliked players in the NFL. Now, number 3, I think, is probably one of the most heinous NFL players ever, and that's Deshaun Watson. Drafted by the Houston Texans, Watson quickly became a star, led them to plenty of playoff wins, but a series of legal issues and serious allegations derailed his whole career and reputation. Even after he found a new home with the Cleveland Browns, signing a 5-year fully guaranteed contract, and him being bad on the field just doesn't help it. And I know plenty of Cleveland fans who just actively refuse to root for him, and honestly, the Cleveland Browns are doing better with Jameis Winston, and that's why I think he's the NFL's most hated player. But on to the next one, and that's the total diva himself, Odell Beckham Jr. One of the NFL's most talented and popular players, Odell Beckham Jr. had an amazing career with the Giants. Famously known for that one-handed catch. Now, I don't know what else to say about Odell Beckham Jr. Obviously, his career was ruined by injuries, but his personality does not make up for it. Some fans still love him and his one-handed catch, while others criticize him for being selfish and inconsistent. And that's why he's one of the most hated NFL players. Last up on this video is Russell Wilson.
You wanna split this Subway sandwich? It's called the Danger Witch, and it's dangerously good.
I made you a sandwich. Eat it.
This guy has been through it all. His transformation from a Super Bowl winning quarterback to one of the most memeable players in the NFL is weird. Once the face of the Seattle Seahawks, Wilson's quiet leadership and Super Bowl win made him a fan favorite. But as rumors of his desire for control and clashing with teammates ruined the whole culture of the Seattle Seahawks, people quickly started to hate him. And after his move to the Denver Broncos, it did not help. He was terrible with the Denver Broncos. And now with him being cut from the Broncos and going to the Steelers and doing pretty decent with the Steelers, he's had a weird career. While some Seattle fans still love Wilson, others really don't like him. But yeah, if you guys like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.